I love it. It's been fun chatting. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. Happy Tuesday. I'm sure we'll have more popping on. And as we said, we're getting into fall break here. So I will be here. I will have calls. I'll post the recordings and stuff. So if you miss it, no problem. Check out the recordings. And then just know, yeah, for the next couple weeks, we might have a smaller attendance, but doesn't matter. Still great value. So be here. All right. I also did bad. I didn't get my link, but how many of you are registered for the Thursday 2:30 to 3:30 class I'm doing online? It is about business planning. So we are not workshopping the business plan. Okay. So those of you that are looking for that, sorry, that's not this. We are going to talk about what you need to consider, what you need to have ready, right? What is in a good plan? What are the things you need to watch for? How do you implement it? Habits, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be really high level on the value in what you need. And then, of course, you will have access to the 2026 plan to start getting that going. And then if you guys need some workshops, we'll absolutely have them. So if you're not registered for that, I just put the link in the chat box. So go ahead and register today for that. It should be a good one. And then we'll send out, if you can't be there, register, because we always send the recording out to everyone that registered with the high level points and the notes and stuff like that. Okay. So go ahead and register if you want the information anyways and can't be there. All right. Awesome. So those of you that just hopped on, I just put the Eventbrite in the chat box. I'll do it again because I think if you get on later, it doesn't show it. So I'll wait a few minutes and I'll post it again in just a little bit. All right. So this morning, I promised you guys that we are going to complete the other big section of the listing consultation. I wanted to say plan. It's not the plan. It's the consultation. Okay. So when you sit down with sellers, right, the couple things you're going to do. So number one, you're going to walk through the house and you're going to establish their motivation to sell, right? You're going to confirm that motivation to sell. The second thing, you're going to decide if you're the realtor to represent them in the sale of their house and if they would like to hire you as the representative of your house. Then the third step, we're going to choose together a price that we know will get this house to sell. Okay, we're going to choose together and a pricing strategy, right, for your house. I want you guys to really start using that word, a pricing strategy for your house that aligns with your goals. Okay, so today I'm not even going to open the script book to begin with, okay, because I just want to start real high level and explain what am I talking about, right, when I'm talking about this. Okay, so here's how it goes. When you're sitting down with a seller, you are going to be saying, hey, Mr. Seller, we're going to now decide a pricing strategy for your house. Okay. Based on what you've told me, you either need to move very quickly, you have some time to hang around, or you are kind of just would like it to go. You're not real worried on the numbers, that sort of thing. Okay. So we've talked about the motivation. We know how motivated they are, and we know where we need to place them in the market in regards to their goals. Okay. So we want to talk to them about, would you like to be at market value? Would you like to beat the market and be better than the market? Or would you like to be worse than, following, chasing the market? Okay, so you can say all those things. The other thing I say for this side, I say, do you want to be in the market, right? If you're at market or below market, you're likely in the market. If you're chasing the market, you're one of the houses that are likely out of the market. Okay. So any questions on just that right there? Does that make sense when you're saying, hey, Mr. Seller, how would you like to do this? Okay. So here's the second part of that. Now, in each, whatever we choose, it is going to have a direct reflect on the results we can expect the market to give back to us. Okay. So whatever strategy we choose, we're going to be able to measure how we're doing based on what the market says. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. Okay, and you can even make 3 columns for your seller if you need to. While I'm pulling this up, I'm going to show you guys some numbers and things that you need to know. Okay, so if you are at market, how would you be able to tell your seller in numbers that you have priced it at the market value? You're doing exactly what the market says we should be doing.
CMA.
Okay, yep, you're going to use your CMA. Let's pick a price point. Somebody shout out a price range. Just pick one.
400.
425. Okay, great. 400 to 415 is the range we walked in with in our head. We did our CMA. We said this house is going to be 400 to 415. And when I walk in, if it's in exceptional condition with lots of upgrades and it is ready to go, right? I will have known that also. I'll know if 425 can be pushed because maybe we have a theater in the basement or maybe we've got extra stonescapes outside, right? Some things like that. But you're going in 400 to 415. So now you go in there in great condition. So now you say we can be around 415. Okay, so you say we're at 415, we are likely where the market says we're going to be, but we truly don't know, right? That's just all this information we've looked at is telling us 415 seems right where the market is right now. Okay, so how in this next 7 days, how will we know that we're performing like the market should? Throw that in the chat box. Tell me what you think. What would you look at? What numbers would you need to know to be able to tell them if they're at market or not? I know you guys know this. Don't be shy. Just unmute or throw it in the chat box. All right, so days on the market. Yep. Showings. How many showings are happening? And how many days on the market? And how many price reductions there have been, right? Because if someone has to reduce their price, it means they're chasing the market. Okay, so then you need to know that also. Okay, in each of your systems, your MLS should provide you some sort of data about your current market. Here's what ours looks like in Indy. Okay. Average showings before sold or leased is 5.6 to 7.4. Marion County, Boone County, Hamilton County. That's what these numbers are. Okay. I live in Hamilton. I'm just going to stay with Hamilton. Let's just use those numbers. 7.4 days on the market. Or 7.4 showings till sold. Sorry, that's showings till sold. Okay, days on the market before sold or leased, 55. Okay, so that's how we find that right there. If you are in MyBor, you have in Domus Analytics, let me go back and kind of show you where this is. Oh, it's not going to let me. Hold on, sorry. Let me go here. There we go. Okay, how many of you have seen this? Market Insights. Go into the market pricing. And then you can select an area. I thought I'd keep my results up. And then I'm going to hide the filters. And here's what this tells you. 46% of listings are below the market value, the average. 49 are below 185 per square feet. Here's what this shows you. 877 low-priced value listings right now in Hamilton County. And there are also 884 high-priced value listings in Carmel. Mr. Seller, where do you want to be? Right? Do we want to be in the market or out of the market? Okay. So that's how we know, right? Here's how we know we did it. We are going to have an offer within 55 days. It's going to take about 7 showings to get an offer on your property. On average, we're getting about 2 a week. So about 4 weeks, 55 days, we should have an offer. We should be seeing we're getting showings every time. How's that sound to you? Right? And they're going to say, well, 55 days is too long, right? You guys know their motivation, right? Okay. So on average, this is what it's going to be. How's that sound to you? Well, we really would like to sell it faster, right? Okay, great. Let's talk about what that looks like. Okay. So now, if you wanted to be better than the market, how would we know you are better than the market? You're going to sell faster than 55 days, right? You're going to have less showings till you get an offer. You're also going to sell closer to your list price, closer or over your list price. Okay. Yep. Or over. Okay. That's your option. You can sell faster. You can list it a little less, but you'll sell faster. You'll have more showings and potentially get closer or over to your list price. Okay. If we're at market, we should get right at list price. We should have to negotiate just a little bit. Okay. If we're above list price, what's going to happen? We will likely see more days on the market. Okay. Now is when you can go to how many properties have done a price reduction. This is when you want to go into your MLS, you want to search their area, and you want to pull in the last 30 days how many listings had to reduce their price and what was the result of that reduction. You can calculate what was the percentage of the average reduction they had to take, right? That's a great number to have with you. Right now, I'm seeing about 15% is what they're reducing it. Great math to have when you go in there, right? Because then you say, okay, so now if we have time, right, we can sit on the market 100, 110 days if you want. We are not as worried about getting, right? We can negotiate for a while. We can sit here a while and just see what the market has to bear, right? That is absolutely an option. That's totally okay. It is very likely we will ultimately have to reduce 15%, which means in this many days, we're going to come down to here anyways. So does that math work, right? Is the mathing on that? If they stay 100 days, have they already lost what it cost them to stay that 100 days where if they would have just listed at 415, they'd be done? You got to do that math with them. Right? You can get it done in 55 days at 415, or you can try it at 425, likely cost yourself more days and potentially end up right back at 415 70 days from now, right? Okay, questions. I want to stop right there and have you guys ask me some questions about that. Is that clear in your heads? Do you feel like you could regurgitate that back to sellers and explain what's happening right now? Good, good, good. Throw any questions in the chat box if you've got them. Okay. So then let's talk about how you use this. Okay. So now you're going to pick your pricing strategy. So Mr. Seller, what's the strategy you would like? Would you like to beat the market? Would you like to just hover at the market? How risk averse are you? Right. Or would you like to take it slow, potentially go higher than the market, cost yourself a little more time and a little less showings? All is fine with me. Okay. And what will they say? Have you guys heard everything? Think about it. If you ask that question to your last 4 sellers, you probably would have heard every answer, right? Okay, so now let's talk about this. Here's where your weekly market updates come into play, okay? Because what we told them is we're going to try, and then the numbers are going to tell us each week how we're doing, right? We know our measurables. We know when we're doing exactly right. Now we're going to compare that every week to what we should have been doing and what we're actually doing. Okay. So first week, Mr. Seller, the first 7 days on the market, here's what we saw, right? This is how many showings happened in the market. Here's how many you got, right? Here's the houses that went on the market that are competing with you. Here's how you stack up to those, right? We're at this many days on the market, this many properties sold, they were this many days on the market, right? And you're just going to show them that data and keep comparing it back to the strategy they chose initially. Okay. So then you say, and based on this, we're doing exactly what we should. We are right in line to hit a 55-day sold. We should be pending in 55 days. And guys, the numbers will tell you all of this. Okay. You don't have to guess. You can lead them right along. You have every aspect to every single number you need in your MLS. If you don't, go call them today and find out where you get it. Okay. So then you go back and say, okay, so we're doing great. Or, I don't like this, guys. We should have, based on average, we should have had 4 showings this week. We didn't. So now what would you like to do? Do you care that we didn't? Are you fine that we didn't? And would you like to get more next week? Okay. Are you guys starting to see this and how we're going to have these conversations with our seller based on the strategy? Here's the place you guys are using this the most. Okay. A lot of people are trying to use a few years ago's prices, right, to price their properties, and it's ultimately causing them to be behind the market, right? That's fine. Only if you are explaining in great detail what they're choosing when they make that choice, right? Because here's what happens. Then 90 days down the road, when it's not sold, you can say, you're right, it's not sold. We're doing exactly what we decided on our pricing strategy. So tell me, do you now have more motivation to get it sold quickly where we're at now? And let's adjust, right? You take it all off of your shoulders, right? It's not on you that it's not sold yet. They chose the strategy, and the market is following the strategy exactly how it said it was going to when we started, right? We've had to do the reductions that we said we would. We've had to reduce the 15%. Okay. Does that make sense to you guys? How many of you with a digital hand or in the chat box are already using this strategy to kind of talk pricing with your sellers? Maybe, maybe not. How many of you think this will help to discuss this in this way with your sellers? Okay, good. That's the biggest thing I want to make, is that you guys are getting value out of this. Okay, great. So, hold on, okay. So overpricing, right? This will absolutely help you if you've challenged the market a little bit higher, right? So let them know that, yeah, so it will cost us more days. Are you good with that? We may have to reduce the price a couple of times. Are you good with that? Right? Make sure they just understand and say, yeah, we're fine with that. Okay. And then take the pressure off yourselves, because you know they're going to be here 100 days. Right? So I can just kind of update them every 7 days and pull it off the gas. We'll be here 100 days from now because they overpriced. Okay. Okay. Let me go through now. So any questions on that?
Hey, Drew, I got one for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You have a homeowner who says their home is based on Zillow. Their home is worth 500,000.
Okay.
They have 75K in upgrades. You tell them that their home at the current market is 425, but they insisted and
Okay.
the average days on market is about 76 days.
At 425?
Yes.
So if they were priced right, it'd be 76 days. Awesome. Okay. And they chose 500?
That's what they want. Yes.
Okay. I mean, so you're going to have to go show them what happened to the price, right, at 425. Okay, and James, the way I recommend coming to 425 with them, right? Because that's another conversation you have to have even before this. So James knows walking into this appointment that he's got a discrepancy of 75. He's got to get them over right away, right? So that's where you have to have them lay out their comps. They have valued their upgrades at 75,000 and think it should just add on, right? Is that how they're getting that number?
Yes, and
Yeah.
also they have to relocate within 90 days or the end of the year or beginning of the year
Okay.
of the year.
So,
So that's the
yeah.
window.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to have to show them why 425 is the right price. You're going to have to get them to self-discover why 425 is the right price. Okay. And that's how, by taking the competition and laying it out and saying, how do you compete with this house? How do you compete with this house? You're also going to have to explain upgrades. Okay. So you just walked me perfectly into the script I wanted to use with you guys, and this will help. Okay.
I'm here for you,
So
Julie.
I love it. Thank you, James. Okay. So, okay, Mr. Seller, this is great. And let's kind of talk about how consumers buy things. Does that sound good to you? And James, I'm just going to make you be your seller right now. Okay. All right. So if you go to one store and you want to buy a computer, and the computer at that store is $1,000, and you're like, cool, that's in my budget. Okay. Then you go right next door to another store. The exact same computer is $1,000, but it has $250 of upgrades in it. Which one are you most likely to buy? Which one is the average purchaser most likely to buy? Right? You guys know?
I'm
No?
sorry, well, no, can you repeat that again, Julie?
Sure. Yes. Thank you. Ask these questions, guys, because I want to make sure you're following along. Okay. So we have two computers at different places. They are both priced $100 or $1,000. But this one at this place is giving you $250 worth of additional value in Amazon gift cards, free speakers that goes with it, whatever. Right? You, as a consumer, are going to buy the one that's exactly the same price as the one next door, but that you're getting more value.
Correct.
Yep. The upgraded one for the same price, not the upgraded one for a higher price. Right? That's important. The upgraded one for the exact same price. Okay. So if all the comps are 415 and you want to be the 450, right? You got to be at the same price with your $75,000 of upgrades, but at the same price to make them choose yours over another. Okay. Now, let's say your buyer doesn't care about those upgrades, right? It's not what they would have done. They hate that brand. Their biggest enemy works against the brand that put the flooring in. Who knows, right? They come up with all these reasons. They don't care about those upgrades, right? I don't care about the $250 that they're going to give me. So now I'm going to go back to store one, but what am I going to expect to pay for that computer? $750, right? I know they can sell it to me for $750 because these guys were, because they were throwing in $250 of extra value. Correct, Stephen, less. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. They're going to look at yours and this house at 415. They're going to see exactly the same thing, except you have some upgrades, and they're going to want to pay the same price. If they don't care about the upgrades you have, now they're going to want to offer you less, but they're more likely to go to this house and offer them less. Okay. Did that make sense? So bring it around to them like they shop for everything, because buyers shopping for houses are doing the exact same thing. They are product shopping. They're laying them all out next to them and establishing what has the best value for me at the price. Okay, James, did that help a little if you explain that to them and how consumers the mindset of consumers and how they
Yeah,
purchase.
yes, I
Great.
understand. I'll just kind of improv here to be
Yeah.
trained.
Yeah.
So,
Great. And use what they buy also, right? Practice this enough with the computers, right? I always do. You can pick two places, right? First one's at Best Buy. Second one, you go to Target. It's $1,000, but they're giving you a $250 Target card to spend in the next 30 days, right? Use whatever they like and whatever they purchase. And you can ask them, what's your favorite thing to shop for? Great. Let's talk about that. Okay. But know your script well enough. The computer script is in the script book. I think it is on page 30. Page 30. Okay, so practice that, right? Because then you've got to show them how consumers buy things. Okay, the third challenge you're ever going to have on pricing is that they want you to do crazy marketing. How many of you have run into that? Okay, we'll price it there, but we want you to take a whole page ad out in the paper. We want you to pay to do this crazy thing, right? That's when you use the script of the overpriced milk, right? If milk's $16 and Kroger goes and gets big signs and blowy guys that say milk $16, milk $16. They have live music playing outside. The milk is $16. Are you going to buy it? No. You're still not buying $16 milk, no matter what they're going to do to try to get you in that door. Okay. That is the same thing consumers will do. If you are trying to sell $16 milk, which is what your $500,000 purchase price would be, it will not matter what you do to market that property. People are not going to pay attention because it's just too high. We're selling $16 milk. Does that help a little bit too, James?
yes, great analogies, keeping it simple, but so
Yeah,
practical that they can fully understand.
that's exactly. You got to talk in their language, what they're used to, right? We start talking in real estate. That's how we make the decision for them, not them making the decision for them. So yes, that's been the best part of these. Bring analogies to them, get them in that headspace, right? This isn't magic. This is just purchasing, right? Okay. Yep. And people sell the same way they buy. That's a great point to bring them around to that as well and have them talk through that. All right, good. I'm glad this was helpful for you guys. So let's talk about kind of your 4 key things you need for your listing, okay? And where you need to go in your script book for it. You have got to pre-qualify at a very high level. You want to know when you walk in there, are they ready to hire you? Are they motivated to sell? And are their goals such that they can win in the current market? Okay. If all those things are a yes, then when you're out there, you're getting them to sign the agreement. Okay. Then you send your pre marketing plan to them, right? Everything you're going to do to market the home. And then when you get there, you're going to reestablish their motivation to sell. These are all in the listing in the script book. Reestablish their motivation to sell. You're going to decide today if they would like to choose me as their realtor. And if I think their house is one that I can sell successfully. And 3, we're going to choose a pricing strategy today that aligns with your motivation to sell. How's that sound? Okay. There's your goal. You're going to talk them through everything you do to sell the property. Hey, now would you like to hire me? And they're going to go, yes. Then you say, great. Now let's discuss a pricing strategy. Okay. If they're not willing, there are those sellers. And I will tell you guys, it was probably 5% of the time. Okay. This is not huge, but you will run into those sellers that are like, no, it's all about the price, right? I'm going to choose you based on what you price it. First of all, you should be handling that in the pre-consult questions, right? And getting them over that they've got to understand doesn't have anything to do with what I choose for your price, right? But if you have those people that are in that small little percentage, it's okay, right? Then tell them, I don't talk price, I discuss strategy. So what strategy are you thinking you'd like to price your house for? Right? And get them thinking that way. It's not about the number. It's about the strategy we're going to use that aligns with your goals in this market to sell it as fast as possible and get you the most money possible. And all of those things will do that. All right, you guys are awesome. 9 o'clock. Definitely watch the replay. It'll be up on the website later this afternoon, coachjuliedowney.com. I'm going to hit send again for the Eventbrite for Thursday at 2:30. Feel free to hop on there and we'll do more of this around business planning. And then I'll see you guys next week. So I'll be here no matter what's happening in Fall Break Wise. All right. Bye, everybody. Glad it was helpful. Good job, Stephen.